Hey friend, if you're watching this, you might be winding down from your day, just looking for a little bit of extra muscle release or relaxation. I want you to grab your mat, grab your foam roller, and let's take you through a few exercises to hopefully just promote a little more relaxation and help you sleep a little better. So what I want you to do is start with that foam roller in a horizontal position across your surface. And then you're gonna roll yourself down onto this. So your upper back is centered on that roller. Bring your hands behind your head. Give me a little bit of core activation here to start to make sure that we're nice and supported. And then you're gonna have to kind of wiggle around to find that position that works for you, but I want you to open your chest and bring your head down towards the floor. Now, you can take those arms out to the side, you can take them up overhead, you can keep them behind your head. I like to keep them behind my head for a little extra support here. You're just gonna breathe into this chest opener. If you feel like you need a little more support here, you can put a pillow under your head. You can also use a block. You can cradle your head with your arms. Good, I'm gonna make a little adjustment here just to get to another spot that feels a little bit sticky in my upper back. Just trying to release all that upper body tension from the day. Maybe you've spent a day slouching in a chair or with less than ideal posture. Feel free to make as many adjustments as needed in any of the places that feel good. Keep supporting your head in any ways that you need to. And then I'm gonna tuck my chin to my chest to bring myself out of that. And I'm gonna adjust this so the roller's at the bottom of my scap, so the bottom of my shoulder blades. Scoop my pelvis under. So I'm trying to curl my pubic bone up towards my nose. And I'm gonna lift my hips, and then I'm just gonna take a little massage here across the bottom of my scaps. So focus on that nice deep breathing. Since it's the end of our day, I want you to inhale, release, exhale, release. You can drop your hips, tilt your nose up an inch and over to the right, and roll over that right shoulder blade. And come back to center, tilt your nose up and over to the left about an inch, and roll over that left shoulder blade. Still focused on your breathing. And then come back to center. We're gonna roll off of that. And then we are gonna take that vertical position for the roller. Bring your tailbone down to the bottom of your roller. Ease yourself down. Open up those chest muscles. If you need to prop some pillows or blankets underneath your arms here, you can. You can also extend them down a little bit further. Find the position that works for you. You're gonna inhale, release, and exhale, release. And we're just gonna spend about a minute here, focused on the breath, just taking a body scan. See if you're holding tension in your pelvic floor. If you are, maybe you give that pelvis a little wiggle. Think of sending that air all the way down to those pelvic floor muscles. Opening and relaxing with every inhale, staying open on the exhale. Scan up the body. See if you're holding tension in your neck or your shoulders. Can you relax those shoulders down your back? Maybe give your head a little nod from side to side. Imagine there's a pencil on the end of your nose and you can draw a vertical line up and down. You can also draw a little circle in each direction. Check in with, see if there's any tension in your jaw, if you're holding tension in your mouth, your tongue, that space between your eyebrows. This is my favorite place to just hang out and chill at the end of the day. I feel like so many of us hold tension right here through the chest and shoulders. And it's nice to just find this openness before going to sleep or we're winding down at night. Good, you're gonna ease out of this with your arms, bring them to your hips, and I want you to just tuck and untuck that pelvis a little bit. Again, don't worry about that activation. Just think of moving the bones, your tailbone, down in towards the roller and then up away from the roller. Like you're trying to press your low back into the roller and then press the tailbone into the roller. Low back and tailbone. And one more time, low back and tailbone. We're gonna extend the leg and come off of the roller, off to the side. And what I want you to do is take this, so it's a little bit lower, and you might have to be careful getting into this, but I'm gonna kind of roll down to the side onto my shoulder and then roll my hips across so your glutes are fully supported, that we can bring the legs up into chair. And that roller is not going to slip out from underneath you. And then what I want you to do is take your left knee in towards your chest. You're going to extend your right leg up towards the sky. And then we're going to slowly lengthen that leg down away from the body, reaching it towards the floor. It may or may not touch. Wherever you are, that's where you are. And just breathe into that. Feel that nice opener across the front of the hip flexor. Again, if you had a day spent with, holding tension in the hips, pelvic floor, maybe you spent a lot of time in a seated position today, this is going to be a nice big release for you. And you see, I'm just taking my hand and kind of massaging across these muscles because they are tight on me. And I just feel like this physical touch, this proprioceptive feedback just gives the body a little bit of extra love that is helpful at the end of the day. If you have any crunching in the opposite hip, just scale back a little bit so you're not pulling it in as close to your body. If there's any pain or discomfort, you're just gonna roll yourself out of it and take a nice fetal position onto the floor and breathe. And then what I'm gonna do is just give myself a little bit of core activation to draw that leg back into chair. I'm gonna hug the right knee into my chest this time, extend my left leg up long, and take that leg out away from my body. And then I'm gonna go back into that little bit of touch or massage, just adding a little warmth to the hip here, just telling it that it's okay to let go of that tension that it held on to today. We get a second chance tomorrow. Focus on your diaphragmatic breathing. You might notice one side's a little tighter than the other. Maybe you spend a little more time on that tighter side or go back to it. You can always pause me. I'm always here. Take a few more nice deep breaths. Relax those pelvic floor muscles. And then I'm going to a little bit of core activation just to draw that leg back into chair. Putting both hands on my knees, and I'm just gonna circle this around. This feels really good on the sacrum and through the tops of the glutes there. So you wanna take that circle in both directions. Good. I'm going to bring my feet to the ground. I'm going to lift up in a little bit of a glute bridge. I'm going to slide that roller out and bring my hips back down. And then what I'm going to do is roll myself up into a nice deep child's pose. So I want you to take your feet together, knees apart as wide as you need to. If you want to grab some pillows or blocks or something to stack yourself up a little bit higher here, you're welcome to do that, but just bring your forehead down to the ground. And really focus on relaxing those pelvic floor muscles in this position here. I give my clients this visual that some of them think is a little creepy, but it tends to be really effective. I want you to imagine that you have a flower blooming out of your vagina and also out of your back sphincter. So as you breathe in, you're going to feel that opening, that widening, releasing. And then as you exhale, you're going to keep it nice and open. Feel that belly drop between the thighs. Good. You're going to work your way up to cat and cow. We're just going to take a little inhale, exhale, rounding through the spine. And then you can either sit in a cross-legged position or you can sit back on your heels. Bring your hands to your lower belly. And just spend a moment here breathing down into the lowest part of your abdominal wall, down to those pinkies. Bring your hands up to your heart. Just press into your heart center here. Just trying to reconnect with yourself. Taking a moment to find that groundedness, that deep relaxation. Good. And then I want you to take your time, maybe take a sip of water, crawl into bed, and hopefully enjoy a nice, restful sleep. Let me know if you do this. Let me know if it helps, and I'll see you guys really soon.